And there's no aspect, no facet, no moment of life that can't be improved with pizza. Thank you.
Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Xrizz'Tina and we are going to be doing a full-blown review of some new makeup. So stay tuned and subscribe. So I got this really awesome box from Thrive Causemetics not too long ago, and if y'all don't know, Thrive is one of my favorite brands. They just came out with their first complexion products and I'm excited because I get to try them for you guys and tell you what I think. So let me show them to you. The first thing they sent me were these. These are the Buildable Blur CC creams, and these are all of the shades for deeper complexions like mine and of course darker. The next thing that I got was the Filtered Effects Soft Focus Loose Setting Powder. I'm excited about this. And of course they came out with their own beauty blender. Hey, I'm so excited. And it's turquoise. And they also sent me this beautiful all over face brush for the products. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try these out for you guys and tell you what I think while I'm putting them on. So these are all the shades. They have, let me see, 18 shades. And I'm going to just be honest with you guys. All of these right here can definitely be worn by women of color who are not fair. So that's really exciting, and I do want to commend Carissa, because Carissa is the owner of Thrive. I want to commend Carissa and her team for coming up with these shades and being so thorough. She said it took them 2 years to create this formulation as far as the colors and the actual products go. The CC cream is $38. It launched on August 1st. This oil-free multitasking color correcting cream blurs and diffuses skin imperfections with buildable sheer to full coverage. So it's buildable. Provides a natural finish. So for me, it would have to be set because I'm oily. And broad spectrum SPF 35 protection. Yes! People, I don't know too many brands that put SPF in their foundations and CC creams or whatever. I don't wear them because they usually make a person look ashy, so we'll see about that. What I'm gonna do is find my shade. I actually match my foundation to my body and not my face, so I'm just gonna open them all and swatch them for you guys in order from lightest to darkest so you can see. 2 pumps, 3 up, came right out. Okay, so this is Rich Tan. And I'm just going to put it right here. It definitely looks like it's my shade and it matches. But in person, it's a little bit too pink for me. Which isn't bad because it can match somebody else. Okay. I like the packaging. I feel like it really complements the brand as a whole. The only thing I wish I could see is the color. I wish I could see the color like on the back side or something, just to make it easier, because if this was in stores, the testers would get used up so quick because people want to see the shade. So this is the shade Rich. I'm just gonna, yeah, that looks like that's my shade. And that's what it looks like. These are really, really creamy. They feel nice too. And this, even though I'm going to be wearing it like a foundation, this is most certainly a CC cream. Let's keep that in mind. The next shade is Rich Cocoa. I could be Rich Cocoa too during the summertime when I'm actually dark enough. So yeah, I actually, you know what? I'm really glad that I have a shade because I was worried when I first heard that they were going to be making a complexion product. I was like, oh my God, please be my shade. And then when I realized that it was a CC cream, I was like, oh my God, please be my shade, because I never have one, you know. The next shade is Cocoa. So this is the first deep shade. That's the first one. And there's 4 more. But this is why I was saying shout out to Carissa and her team, because most companies, quite frankly, this is the end of the line. This is the end of the line most of the time. So I am so proud of Carissa for creating more than one deep shade. Because something that I notice often whenever I go shopping for foundations or CC creams in brands that are not necessarily inclusive is deep usually is my shade. And that's sad because I'm not deep in the lightest, in the least, or whatever. I'm not deep at all. So anyway, the next shade is Deep Cocoa. And I like that. I like that it's deep without being... And the last shade is Deep Espresso. Uh-oh, we got some faulty pump. Hold on, sis. There we go. And this is the deepest shade. Now, one thing I really appreciate about this so far is that, number one, I have a shade. Number two, deep doesn't stop at my shade. And number three, there's more than one shade for women with deeper complexions. And because this is a CC cream, it's not to be expected to have like 40 shades because this is buildable coverage. So it's going to be considerably sheer. And so with those kind of formulations, even if you do have a shade, you could go up one or down one usually. So I just really appreciate the fact that there's more than one shade for women of color. There's more than one shade for deeper complexions. Deep doesn't stop at my shade, and I actually have a shade. So yeah, kudos to Carissa and her team for that. This is what they look like. I'm going to turn to the side so y'all can see. My lights are kind of bright. Really, really nice. And this one has been on for a minute. It does set to a natural finish, it looks like. I'm going to leave this on my chest, and I'm going to go ahead and try out this CC cream. I was going to say foundation. I'm going to try this out. So this is the Beauty Blender. I am going to try it with a brush and a Beauty Blender if the Beauty Blender doesn't work out for me. Oh, look, there's a little side to it. There's a little flat side. Oh, yes. Okay, I like that. Let me go wet this. All right, so I've got the sponge. It is definitely way bigger now. Very soft and squishy. It actually does remind me of the Beauty Blender, which I've never run across a sponge that's done that before. So what I'm going to do is I am going to prime my face because whenever I do these reviews, I don't switch up my routine. My skin is clean. I have already put on my moisturizer and stuff. The primer that I've been using lately is this little sample that I got of Too Faced Hangover RX primer. And I'm just going to put a little bit on. Now, I don't think most people would prime for a CC cream because it is just a CC cream. Usually there's not much to expect with them. It's kind of like mixing a moisturizer with your regular everyday foundation. But because I always have higher expectations of products than I probably should, I'm going to go ahead and prime. And I also like for my skin to look how I want it to look. So, and you can't expect foundations to just do everything. Not in my opinion anyway. The CC cream is actually natural finish. So I'm going to take out this powder that they sent me. And it says you dip the brush into the mesh and tap off the excess powder. And then you set the foundation or your CC cream with the powder. So normally what I do before I put on foundation is I put powder on my face beforehand. And that's what I'm going to do now. This is what it looks like. I like that. Oh, look. Oh, you can hold it like this. I'm such a dork. And then there's a nice little mesh in there, which I don't think y'all can see. Because, oh, there we go. So there's a nice little mesh right there. And it's holding the product in there. I like that. And I think this brush is $40. Their brushes are synthetic as well, you guys. So if you're someone who doesn't like using animal hair, because I don't like using brushes made out of animal hair, this would be good for you. Oh. Ooh, it's so soft and fluffy. Okay, so, and there's no smell to it. So I'm just going to take a little bit, boop. Okay, that's not a little bit. And I'm just going to put this in my T-zone, over my nose, and around my mouth. Yeah. So the powder is definitely doing its thing as a powder. For me, powders are just powders. I mean, unless they're cakey, I usually don't see much of a difference with them. This one is giving me some blurration, though. I'm seeing my skin look a little smoother, not just matte, which I like. And I am putting on quite a bit now, just because I wanted to make sure I'm seeing what I think I'm seeing. So there's that. And that's what the brush looks like. Super cute. And I'm gonna go ahead and close that. I like that because I'm messy with my powders. So it said to apply 2 pumps, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do that on one side of my face. Actually, I don't even think I need more than that, because that's quite a bit on one side of my face, but we'll see. So I'm gonna take, I don't know if I wanna do the flat side. I'm gonna use the flat side of the Beauty Blender and blend this in. Now y'all see all of my manchas. Let's see if they go away. I forgot I have foundation. I forgot it was on my chest. Dios mío. I like how pointy the tip of the sponge is. Let me see if I can squeeze some of the product out and put it on my forehead. The sponge is doing a good job at distributing the makeup too, because normally I would have to go back in with some more product to get the rest of my forehead for other foundations. But that's what it looks like. It's definitely medium coverage, definitely. But let's see how buildable it is. So I'm gonna put one more pump. The formula is creamy. It's a creamy formula, which I actually prefer because I feel like they set better. Let me bring it down here. I feel like since this side is flat, I can really squeeze out the product in the sponge and press it into my skin too. Also get close to them brows, girl. Yes, Carissa, for the design of this sponge. This is really pointy too. And at this point, it is full coverage. So that's that side of my face, this side. And I'm wearing this shade right here. The shade name is, oh my God, I got foundation all over this tube. Rich. Okay, so I really wanted to try this with a brush too, because not everybody can afford a sponge and not everybody uses sponges. Okay, so I'm gonna take one pump on this side with a brush. And the brush that I'm using is also from Thrive Causemetics. This is their blush brush, but I use it for foundation, so don't judge me. And I'm just gonna tap it in and see what that coverage look like. What that coverage do? Even though the coverage is still the same, the product definitely does not stretch as far with a brush. And the reason why I say that is because with the sponge, I was able to cover my forehead with one pump. So there's that. You can apply it with a brush, most certainly, if that's your preference. But I think it definitely looks better. You get more coverage with the sponge. So I'm gonna do one more pump. This sponge is really, really soft, by the way, like really soft. Okay, so one thing to keep in mind when it comes to CC creams too, and I just thought about this, is even though you can get full coverage, it's really important not to wear too much of it or it might slide off of your face. It's not made to be worn heavily as a formula, if that makes any sense. It's made to be worn, you know, every day, very lightly, very natural, blase, blase. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add some concealer. The concealer that I've been using is the LA Girl Pro Concealer. And I'm just gonna add a little bit. Not really. It's not really a little bit, it's more like a lot of bit. But you know what? It's my face, so deal with it. We'll see how the CC cream plays with other products. Yeah, I love how pointy the flat side is. It really gets into those nooks and crannies. Nooks and crannies, like your grannies. And it looks like it blends out other products really good too. Okay, sponge, I see you. I am going to dip this sponge into this powder and see what it does. And I'm gonna flip it over to the clean side just so we don't have no problems. And let's see, I'm going to, ooh, that was cold. Felt really cold. I'm gonna press it in. Now I don't know if that was me or the powder because it didn't do this on this side. So let's just, I'm gonna flip it over and see if I can fix that. Okay, there we go. Had me worried for a second there. And then I'm gonna take the brush and tap this into the lower part of my face. So my biggest concern here with the powder is flashback. That's my biggest concern. And only because the color, you know, and I've got a little bit of gathering here. Yeah, so I don't think that this powder should be picked up with a damp sponge. It's probably too fine for that. I'm going to do the rest of my face and I will be back. Okay, so this is what my face is looking like. On camera, you know, on my monitor, I look cute. I look absolutely fabulous. In my mirror, what I can see is I'm wearing a CC cream. And as someone who prefers to wear full coverage, crazy cake, you know, making sure that you can't see absolutely anything, I would say that the CC cream really did a good job. Only because it exceeded my expectations for CC cream, which is usually what Thrive does. The coverage is really, really good. It's more coverage than I've ever seen on any CC cream. The color matches my skin significantly better than anything I've ever seen in a CC cream. And of course, it has a natural finish and there's a powder I can use with it if I didn't want to use my own powder. The powder, I would say, is a little bit light. It's a little bit ashy. I feel like it could be more natural, more, not neutral, but just more universal, because I feel like it flattened the foundation color quite a bit. I still think that the foundation looks good. I did give it a little bit of help with my normal bronzing powder that I use all over my face. But yeah, for a CC cream, this is really good. I like it. I'm glad that they came out with a multitude of shades. I really respect and appreciate that from Thrive. I think that this CC cream is amazing. It actually could be considered a foundation, depending on the kind of coverage that you like to wear. I like the formula. I like how creamy it is. I like the natural finish. And you can see here that it's definitely not a flat CC cream. I like that it has SPF in it because I am one of those people who skips out on SPF. Don't judge me. I just layer so much stuff on my face. I feel like I don't... Anyway, besides the point. Who would I recommend this CC cream for? I would recommend this CC cream for anyone who has normal skin, dry skin, and even combination skin. Because it's a CC cream, of course, you cannot expect for it to stay on your face all day long. I would never even say that about a CC cream myself. But I would definitely recommend this for all skin types, for everyday wear, something natural. You know, you're going out real quick. You're not going to be spending the whole day in it. People who I think could wear this all day long without a problem are people who don't have any drastic hyperpigmentation, people who have normal and dry skin, of course. Someone who's super duper oily, I don't think you could wear this all day, but this is definitely something you could wear for a few hours if you're going to run errands and things like that, or just doing little things throughout the day. I like it. I think it's really, really good. And you know what? You will catch me wearing this. I don't always want to wear my full coverage foundations, even though I have manchas and discoloration. I mean, it looks beautiful, and that's the point, right? So the other thing, the sponge. The sponge is the bomb. It is so soft. It's so soft. And I never say that about any sponges other than the Beauty Blender. And I got one of my dirty ones right here. And they literally feel the same. That's amazing. Blends out beautiful. I love the shape. I love the flat side. I feel like it really helps with making sure that you get all your product out of the sponge. The flat side. I love how pointy the tip is. That is a must. And then as far as the powder goes, I think the powder is really nice. It's very finely milled. It's definitely matte. So if you're not someone who needs that matte finish to your foundation or underneath your foundation, I don't know how people with dry skin would like it, but I will say that it definitely does what it says it's supposed to do. It's matte. It does smooth over the skin really, really well. And it set the CC cream, which I don't see too many powders doing that are as finely milled as that. So, but I'm so proud of Thrive for coming out with these products. I love them. I think this is going to work out great for me during the winter time because my skin will be much drier then. And I mean, I don't know what else I can say. The price, the formulation is what justifies the price for these, and Thrive always comes through with the best. So I don't think that there's anything wrong with the price for CC cream because it's practically a foundation, if we're being honest with you guys. Practically a foundation. The only differences I would like to see is definitely maybe more colors, more shades for the powder so that it doesn't give off that ashy feel. And then if the packaging ever changed on the foundation, I would love to be able to see through the packaging. Maybe like a little strip down here or maybe on the side, just so I can see how much product I have left and also the shade, because if it was sold in stores, you know, you'd want to be able to see that. So yeah, I'm happy. And thank you so much to Thrive Causemetics for the products. Thank you for sending them to me. Thank you for producing them and giving me a shade to wear. I mean, who you know doing that? You know? Who you know making a CC cream that has legitimate coverage and a shade for me and a couple other ladies, you know? Anyway, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up. Have you tried any of the products from Thrive Causemetics? If not, check the link down below. There will be a discount code. It's not mine, but it works. It's Aloe's discount code. Use it. If you want to see the details for this eye look, go ahead and check the description down below. You know what I'm saying? Because I filmed it. Don't forget to thumbs up this video, subscribe, share it, and I will see y'all next time. And feel free to enjoy the next videos because they are here waiting for you, and you can love them and like them and subscribe to them. Bye, y'all. I got somewhere to go.